Hey, how you guys do? You ready? In the mixtape.
En este episodio tenemos un invitado muy especial, directo desde Toronto, Canadá. Nos visita hoy en el estudio Jacob Zapatines. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna start with how was the flight to Mexico?
Honestly, it was very easy. It's
Yeah?
only like a 4-hour flight from Toronto.
Okay,
So very chill.
very chill.
Yeah.
And you had like been here for
I've been here for
how many days?
I've been here for like 3-4 days now.
It's all the one here.
No, it's just me right now.
Just you?
All the boys are flying in tonight.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I just really wanted. A lot of my friends have like come here. Some of them live here.
Mm-hmm.
The artist actually Gabriel Ultros, who does all the artwork for our band. He's been living here for 3 years.
Okay.
So I just wanted to spend some time and yeah.
Well, it's the first time you're in here.
My
or-
first time in Mexico City. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But you know about Mexico because of your friends.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. And I want to start the conversation of music talking about your childhood. I want to know how is the music taste of a kid living in Toronto.
Music in Toronto is very interesting. I don't know what it's like so much now, weirdly enough, but when I was a kid, there's a lot of bands coming out of Toronto. And in general, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of like the biggest artists in the world are Canadian. So people like, Avril Lavigne, Sum 41, Drake, Shawn Mendes, like, whatever, like Justin Bieber, like just like the list. It's surprising how many
Artists.
massive artists across genres are from Canada. And Toronto is an interesting place because I think it fosters a lot of that musical creativity, and there's a lot of like you just feel the music in the city a lot. Like there's a lot of legendary venues that you go to. And when I was a kid, it was a really, really good place for music because there was a lot of all ages clubs and venues. So on the weekend, that's just what you did when you were like 14, 15. You would go to a concert,
Okay.
Less so now. I think a lot of those venues sadly have shut down.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, that's what I did like every weekend.
And for example, in your family, it's music around you. It's
Not really. Like weirdly, like we had a piano. But my mom, she used to be a really, really great like piano player, but she didn't play much when I was a kid. And then, yeah, it wasn't really a musical family, to be honest.
Okay.
My brother's really good at music, but even him, he didn't like play too much. It wasn't until like high school when I decided to like pick up a guitar.
okay. You are the guitarist of the band of
Yeah.
Good Kid. And how's the first approach to that instrument or music in general? What would you listen in like a vinyl or a mixtape, something like that? What's
like
the first song you hear and say like, oh, this is music?
I think it was classic rock. It must have been like AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or something like that. One of the first songs I ever learned was Smoke on the Water on guitar. I don't know do you play guitar?
Yeah.
Everybody learns that
So,
song.
yeah.
It's very easy to play. And
But it's not that easy.
No.
You think so, but
Yeah.
in reality, it's like very complicated, and it's different that the thing you played like, oh, this is
Yeah.
the song, but in reality, it's not.
No, it's just it's an interesting song because it's a very simple melody, like dun 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 dun. Dun. So any beginner can understand, and you can play it. It's a very cool song because you can play it at many different difficulty levels. So if you want it, like when you're just starting out, you're just playing one note,
Yeah.
and then you can do chords, and then you can learn the solos and like. So it's a very, very good beginner-friendly song. So I think that was the first song I ever learned on guitar. But in general, when I got really into guitar, it was from bands like The Strokes, Block Party, Blink-182. So a mix of like indie rock / pop punk is where I got a lot of my like early influence.
I kind of hear that in the songs of the Good Kid, because I think it's a mix between Fall Out Boy and I hear a lot of the Strokes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the guitars.
Yeah.
Do you remember like your first CD or the first thing you buy with your own money?
Yes. It was a ska band called the English Beat. They're like a very old, I think they were from like the 80s or something. And I just I liked the cover, the album cover. And I didn't even know what I was buying. It was like I went to a record store. I bought the CD because I thought it looked cool. And then I went home and I listened to it and it was like ska music, which was cool. It's not like my favorite music now anymore, but when I was a kid, I ended up really liking it probably because that was the first record I bought.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, also sorry. I just remembered the first record I actually bought
I don't know.
I don't know if you're the Digimon soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
From the Digimon movie. I don't know
Yeah,
if you know
yeah,
it.
I think I hear it.
Yeah, and it had actually also a lot of ska punk bands. It was like Less Than Jake and other. It was a really good soundtrack. Smash Mouth, I think, is on it. It's a very good soundtrack for a movie about like Digimon.
I like Digimon a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great cartoon.
Yeah, that must have
Growing
been the first actual CD that I bought, and I remember because I found it recently and I listened to it. I was like, "Oh, this is a really good music. Like it holds up." Sorry, I thought your next question was
up. No. I was asking about the band.
Yes.
How you came up to that.
Oh, how did like we meet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and David, the other guitarist, we met in high school, and we actually played in a band together before this one, and another band called Streets Ahead. And then the rest of us met in university. We were all studying different things at the University of Toronto.
Where were you student?
Well, at the time, I was studying German and math.
Okay.
And I met Michael, the bassist in the band, and he was studying computer science and German. And then we became friends. He actually convinced me to switch into computer science eventually, so I did. But from there, we met Nick, who was also a computer scientist, and John, the drummer, who was studying, I think, math and just very technical stuff.
Yeah.
And so we all kind of met like in that setting, and then we started the band. We started jamming, me and Michael, and then it just like kind of grew from there. We added like Nick came in, we hung out. That was really fun. Then we got John, and then eventually we got David.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can tell us like what are the inspiration of the music for the band?
At the early days, it was like a lot of bands like The Strokes, Two Door Cinema Club. I think the first demo I wrote it. Like the demo I titled was like Two Door Strokes, because I was trying to write a song that sounded like a bit like The Strokes, but more dancey and like fun.
Can you tell us the song?
It was Nomu. The
Nomu?
song is like, which is our first song that we put out.
Okay.
And I think it does capture that, but that was like the title. So I think, that was pretty much the inspiration, but also still keeping some like of the punk influences that I grew up with. Cause, I always wanted it. I don't know. I just like faster music, I guess.
Yeah. I was listening to your music yesterday and in the morning, and it gave me that vibe, like a punky, fast song, like happy punk.
Do you listen or do you watch much anime?
Yeah.
So like I also love anime and J-rock, like Japanese bands.
Okay.
And there's so many good like anime opening theme songs. And so a lot of my influences are actually like whether I even intentionally was or not, there was a lot of Japanese bands that I think influenced the sound as well. And I think they also have there's a lot of Japanese bands, you listen to them, they kind of sound similar, I think, in terms of like Asian Kung Fu Generation is a good one that I really like.
Okay.
They did openings for like every anime that like Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto, and they've done it all. There's bands like Kanabun is a band I really like. They also did like Naruto and other openings. Who else?
The Naruto openings are
some of the best.
Really good.
Yeah. Flow is another band I really like. I've been really lucky. I've gotten to see a lot of them, and they're amazing. It's so nice.
And One Piece, I think One Piece is actually one of the ones that make great intro songs.
Yeah, I love One Piece. It's one of my favorite.
You're in the anime or the manga?
Manga. I watch. I'll like read the manga and then I'll go watch like scenes from it on the anime. Yeah. Okay. What about you?
I'm more of the anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same.
It is. So. It's just I feel bad for you because it's so slow. The anime is so slow.
I'm so in the past. I had a friend like he is the one that introduced me to the One Piece universe, and he's like telling me that no, you have to see this because
Yeah.
it's something totally different in the point of you are in the anime.
Yeah.
So it's I understand, but I'm going in my way. And
Yes.
just slow. It's good.
I recommend reading it because then, but whatever you enjoy, that's what's important. The anime has a couple of episodes I've seen that are really really well done. And are you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that one episode with Yamato
Mhm.
and it's just like about her feelings with like Ace and there's just like it's really really beautifully animated. There's a whole episode with her that doesn't even exist in the manga.
In the manga.
Yeah, they never like they barely like she actually doesn't get a lot of development as a character,
Mhm.
like in the manga as much as the anime. I think they like really loved the character, so they did so much more with it, and I really like that.
It's good. I seen some episodes that makes me like go fucking. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like the animation is really really good. Um, I want to know about the manga, but I think I'm gonna start in some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to the music.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's important because this podcast is about just the reference, the things you like,
Cool.
the things that make the music you
Well,
make.
and that
Yeah.
does make the music us like it. Like
So-
anime music and anime in general is a very big inspiration for the band. Like the stories that they tell, as well as the audio, it all kind of interplays in the music.
I want to ask about the production sessions because it's a band and you are five. So how it's like be in the studio in the production.
Yeah, so we try to have the songs mostly finished, but by the time we get into the studio, like it's rare that the songs are not done.
Yeah.
And so the way that we write as a band, it really depends. But a lot of the time, the best results we've had is when somebody in the band brings like a skeleton of a song. And lately, that's been a lot of myself and David, the other guitarist. I can't sing, so when I write songs, I mostly write like melody and chords, like structure, chords, melody, and that's what I'll bring to the band. And I'll say like, "Hey guys, I got this song. You know, here's a verse, chorus, maybe a bridge. Here's what I think about it, and like it sounds like this, and this is the energy I want for
Okay.
it." And then everyone else like helps fill in the gaps, like the bass, the drums, the vocal. Sometimes the vocal will just like be the same as the guitar melody, and that's okay. But like I don't really write lyrics. Like Nick will write all the lyrics. And then David is a little bit more involved because he can actually sing, and he's a good lyricist. So when David brings a song, sometimes we'll have like a vocal as well, and something like that. But that's typically how we like start.
But in this line, you write the guitarist. You are the guitarist. Sorry,
Yeah.
and the melody of the voice is similar, like
It can
to
be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you write like a part of.
Yeah, a lot of the time. Like so we have a song called Mimi's Delivery Service, and the main melody in that one goes like da 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 da, and the vocal is the same. It's like tell me there's an issue. I feel like it's the same melody.
And
from
you wrote it first.
I wrote that one. Yeah.
Okay.
But every song is like different. Like sometimes the vocal melody is completely separate.
Different.
Sometimes it's the same. It just depends on on the song, I guess.
And you are fast in composition, or you take your time. How's the process of that?
I'm not very like technical, to be honest. I do like the way I write is kind of brute force. Like I'll sit down with a guitar and usually I'm inspired by something like a piece of media that I consumed, or I went to a concert and I got like inspired, like, oh, I want to sit and write. Lately, I also do a lot of Twitch streaming. So like I stream on Twitch, but I mostly stream like music. And when I do that, I just sit there for like hours with my guitar in front of like a bunch of strangers, and I just play until I come up with something that I like. So it's not very like technical. Like I wish I could say I'm like quick or not. It's more just like sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. But I put a lot of time into it, and I give myself the opportunity for inspiration to happen, I guess, because like I dedicate like every Monday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm sitting on Twitch like, streaming with my guitar. And some songs actually have come up like we have a song called Summer off the last EP. I wrote that one almost entirely on Twitch. So like you can literally see like the beginning. It's kind of cool for me too because I can go back
Okay.
and I can like see like the first version of it to like
The
all the updates because I did it consistently. I wrote it over the course of like many months.
Okay.
And
the people help you?
oh no, not really.
No?
Like I don't like I have fun like playing around with the audience, but I don't I don't really take suggestion, to be honest. It's not that I don't want to. It's just it's really hard to someone to give me suggestion like on text when I'm like playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the songs that I wrote, I think I wrote Summer on the last one. Then there's another song that we didn't write. It's a cover from the start by Leve, but I arranged that one also on stream because I think one day I was like, oh, I wonder what this song would sound like if it was an indie rock song, and I started playing that on stream, and then I really liked that, and I brought it to the band, and I was like, guys, let's do this. Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool the way you use the tools you have.
Yeah.
To make music. It's really great. And I wanna ask like from the studio to the shows, to the live shows, what's the difference about the way you play?
Yeah.
And the way the band it's like I don't know how to say it, the way the shows it's meant to be.
So it's an interesting question. For us specifically, like we're very much like a rock band.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like there's not a ton of production outside of the main like instruments that we have. We have a little bit here and there, you know, maybe we use a certain sound effect on this or that, but it's very minimal relative to I think like other music. So when you go to the show, you do get to I think it doesn't sound too different. The things that are different is we try to like maybe we'll change up a part here, maybe we'll extend something for like an effect or to have fun with the crowd and get them involved. We'll do like interesting like transitions between song to song. We have a ton of energy. So I think if you like our music and you listen to it, it translates very well to a live show because we're jumping around and we're having a good time. And
yeah, because it's fast music. It's like like upbeat music.
Yeah, I feel like we capture that energy well on stage. So I wouldn't actually say it's too different because a lot of people tell us that they listen to the music to like hype themselves up and they like go for runs or something. And you could definitely run and jump around a lot at our shows.
Yeah, actually, we are like doing the studio, like setting up and that, and we are listening to the music.
Yeah,
we kind of have like this like upbeat like this go here, this go here.
Yeah,
and
if you see us play live, like if you should come on Saturday. We're playing, and you'll see like we're jumping around the wall, like jumping off the the amps and whatever.
Where are you playing?
What is it called? I'm so bad. I can look.
yeah, sure.
Let me check. I'm sorry.
This is the first time in Mexico for the band?
Yeah, this will be our first show in Mexico City, and I'm so excited for it. Honestly, like we've been wanting to come here for a very long time. The first fans we ever had outside of Toronto were a group of like teenage Mexican girls, and they made like a fan account and everything, and it was so cute. And ever since then, we were like, okay, one day. That was many years ago. That was maybe like 8 years ago.
Okay.
But we were always thinking like one day we gotta.
The crowd in here it's really loud. You're gonna see like a bunch of people jumping and singing their songs.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You're really gonna enjoy it.
We're playing Foro Puebla.
Foro Puebla. Okay.
Yeah.
It's close. It's really close.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Wow. For the people who's watching, I want to know about the music behind the last album. Is Good Kid 4?
Yes.
Actually, first, why Good Kid 1, 2, 4?
Honestly, we argue a lot, and we couldn't decide. We couldn't agree on a name, and so we did Good Kid the first one because it was easy. We're like, okay, we can't agree. Let's just call it self-titled Good Kid. Second one came, and we argued maybe for like a month trying to figure out what to call the EP, and eventually someone was like, why don't we just call it Good Kid 2? And then once we did 2, now we're stuck. We have to do 3. We have to do 4. There's no escape.
You're gonna continue with this?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. It depends. We don't know what we're gonna do next after. We don't know if we're gonna do another EP because we've just been doing EPs, like 6-song records. Maybe we'll do another one. Maybe we'll try to do our first full length. maybe we'll just do singles. Like we don't really know. We've been writing a lot, and we have a lot of material that we're working on that we're excited about. But it's very up in the air. Like we're open to whatever makes the most sense for us.
Just a quick thing. What is Nomu Kid? I want to know this, and
Yeah.
if you can explain me like for the for the beginning.
Yeah, so Nomu Kid is kind of like our mascot,
Yeah.
a main character that we do a lot of imagery around to help like convey the feelings of the songs and things like that. He was done in collaboration by an artist I was saying earlier, Gabriel Altros, who we work with on everything. He's like a childhood friend of mine, very, very, very talented illustrator and character designer. And early on, when we sent Nomu the song to him, and we asked him to like make cover art for us. First, he actually came back with something completely different, but then we told him like we want to do something more character based. We're very inspired by bands like the Gorillaz, and there's like a couple of other examples of artists that have almost had like
Like
digital.
Iron Maiden.
What?
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, yeah, and they've had like characters that they put on, even like a band like Kiss in some ways, even though the characters are them, but there's so much like like imagery around it.
Yeah.
We really like that kind of idea.
You think of playing with like a custom sometime?
Maybe one day, if we ever get, you have to get to like certain size venues before like it makes sense for that kind of production. But no, it would be so. But yeah, anyway, the point is, so he's like our mascot. He was invented by Gabriel, and then we've been like telling kind of his story throughout the different songs, and it's a very great character to play around with because he's very much like a blank canvas that we can kind of do whatever we want with. So we've had him like travel through time and age up. Like we have like an older version of him and a younger version of him, and they kind of coexist in the same like universe and timeline. And then we've had other characters as a result of like the response to him has been so like good and people love him so much. We've been able to branch out to even make like other characters in our world. So we have like Mimi, and she's like the main character of like Mimi's Delivery Service, which is like one of our songs from the third EP. And we have like other characters in that we introduce, and we'll probably keep doing more and more.
That's really good. I feel like it's like you say like Gorillaz. They had like these is the characters that are so like more about Gorillaz from that the actual people who play in Gorillaz.
I didn't even know that Damien Albarn, like the guy from Blur, was in Gorillaz until somebody told me like many years later.
And that's really interesting, and it's a fun way to see how the music and sometimes images can mix it and make something good.
I love it for us specifically because it encourages a lot of like, we didn't really think about this when we did it, but it encourages a lot of fan made artwork around it, because fans will like take these characters and then they'll make like comic books with them or their own versions of them, or sometimes people like make little like toys with them and they'll give it to us and stuff like that.
I think you're gonna get like a See Me Doctor here in Mexico.
Oh, I hope so. We got one actually on the last America tour, and we would put him on our amp.
Talking about this Nomu character, I want to know the songs that are related to him.
So it's not that the songs are related to him, it's more the other way. Like we'll write the songs and then we'll give the songs to Gabriel and we'll ask him to, like, he'll figure out a way to with the lyrics and the audio to put Nomu in a particular scenario that represents the songs. So for example, and it's not just Gabriel, we also like work with a bunch of other artists now. This one really amazing animator, Extra Alpha Charlie, she's from Canada as well. She's animated our past 2 music videos, and she's so talented. And so for her, she did a really good job. The song Summer that we have, a lot of it is about like, I don't know, how do I describe it? We had our own interpretation and she had her own interpretation. And through the character of Nomu, she told a story about like self-acceptance. And it's very beautiful. If you ever get a chance to see the music video, you should watch it. But it's very interesting that like the song was written, we had our own thoughts of what it meant. And then she had her own thoughts. But again, like through the character, she was able to tell this entirely unique story with her perspective. And so it's less that like we tell stories about the characters through the music, and more that the characters help us like convey
Okay.
meaning to other people.
I don't know if you can tell me like about the writing of the songs, but I want to know about two songs in particular. It's Mimi's Delivery Service
Yeah.
and No Time to Explain.
Oh, cool.
I want to know how those two songs are made of.
So, it's a good thing I'm here because I started both of those songs. No Time to Explain lyrically is very different about that one I started writing because I wanted to write a song that was like similar to like when I wrote Nomu. I was like I had an idea in my mind. I really like the band Wallows, and I love the Strokes and I love all these bands, and I wanted to write a song that reminded me of like these artists that I loved. Nick was going through a hard time of he had been recently out of a bad relationship, and he was getting into a new one, and he was scared of like that change and letting himself kind of
Be
be
vulnerable.
vulnerable and open again. So there's a lot of like themes in No Time to Explain about that feeling of like being anxious about something changing in your life. And in general, like Nick loves like Nick. It's funny because Nick does a lot. Like he travels all over, and he's very busy, and he does all these different exciting things. But he's in a lot of ways he's a creature of habit. Like he loves going like routine with the same people, same group of like building those connections and having that consistency in life. So I think like No Time to Explain is kind of fitting for him expressing that emotion of like being scared of things changing.
Okay.
Mimi's Delivery Service I wrote for my girlfriend. Her name is Mimi, or her nickname is Mimi. And I wrote it because I actually wrote it during the pandemic. She was just like going through a really hard time. And I wanted to write, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'll write an anime opening to her life in some ways. And it's a bit of like,
That's
so
pretty cool.
yeah, it's like kind of, and she loves anime too. So like, I was trying to I wanted to write her a song that would like help her get excited or motivated or get out of like the rut that she was currently finding herself in. And then, so like, it's just interesting because she, as a person, she shares a lot of characteristics with the character Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. And so it's like I was writing this song for my girlfriend, but like I said earlier, I only write like music, like I only write the instrumentals. So it's a little bit hard for me to like, I had some ideas, maybe one line here, one line there, but I had to go to Nick and I was like, Nick, it's weird to ask you to write a song about my girlfriend. And he was having a hard time because he knew that's what I wanted to write it about, and he was having a hard time coming up with it. So I told him, I said like, look, she is pretty much Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, like very similar type person, goes through a lot of the same problems, has a lot of like similar issues. If you've ever seen the movie, it's about a young woman like going through like having confidence, then losing her confidence, and then gaining it back. And so I just told Nick, I was like, go watch that movie. And then come back and like we'll write the lyrics for the song, and then he did, and it worked out really well. So it's like half about my girlfriend, half about Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay.
And earlier when I was saying like anime inspires us, like that's a very direct reference to like an
tree
anime
reference.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. Just and I wanna ask about the relationship with. I know I think you get this question a lot, but I want to know the relationship with Fortnite and your band.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's something else in between.
I mean, there's maybe like the way I would frame it is like gaming community and the band. Like Fortnite is definitely a big one. At a lot of early.
Because helps you make the songs like big, right?
Yeah, I would say like the game itself doesn't help as much as like content creators who make content around the game.
Okay, more the streams or
streamers
TikTok
or YouTubers or TikTokers who will like use the game as like they'll do like clips and stuff that they'll like put up, and they'll use our music. But that's true of like Valorant and other video games as well. Actually, Valorant is like maybe one of the bigger ones these days.
You play?
I do play. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not really like a big player.
Yeah.
I only play Minecraft, and that's
I
all.
also play Minecraft. I like it too.
It's great.
Yeah.
But back to the question, how this gaming community helps the band, or
so it's a bit of like it's a cohesive relationship. So we make all of our music free to use for creators. So like it's DMCA free, meaning that any Twitch streamer can use it without worrying about copyright strikes, and then any YouTuber who wants to put up like videos of themselves like playing to games or whatever with our music, they can do that, and we won't copyright strike them or anything like that. And what that's led to is these creators, they get music to use for like for their content, and then we in return, like their audience gets to hear our music, right? And so it's a bit of like a good collaborative relationship in that way, and it's worked out really well for us. It's great because, like I said, like I play these games, the other boys play these games. We're very big nerds, and we've been playing these games our whole lives, so it's really cool to see the mix that like our music resonates with the fans of these
Actually,
these
seeing your
creators.
music in that platform. I don't know if you play FIFA.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I don't know if some of your songs are in.
They're not.
No,
That's like
but
the holy. That's like the
I
top.
think
That's like the number one
yeah,
that we want.
I think the people that make the soundtrack of FIFA should listen to your music.
I agree.
And put a song in the lobby of some.
I agree. FIFA is like one of the early. Like I still remember hearing Block Party,
Yeah.
Helicopter by Block Party. I don't remember which FIFA game it was, but I played so much of it, and that was a big reason. Like I discovered some music was from FIFA games.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good. The soundtracks are pretty much this hype type of music.
Yeah.
Like upbeat and I think your music kind of makes a good way into that.
Thanks.
And I want to know about your taste of music. What are you listening right now? If you can give us like I don't know, 3 songs, an album, an artist to listen, and some series, movie,
Oh, okay.
a book, something like that.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
this podcast is about all your I don't know how to say it. Yeah, your
Taste.
taste in general.
Who am I listening to lately? Actually, because I came here, I started listening to a lot of Mexico City artists.
Yeah.
One I really like is called Los Blenders. They're really, really good. Sergeant Papers, I really like. Andrew, who's opening for us, I've been listening to her a ton.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew wasn't here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So she's opening for us on Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of them. J-rock bands, there's a band called Peanut Butters that I really like. Hammerhead Shark. These are all really, really great bands. That's honestly, I've been listening to a lot of Mexican
music.
Mexican indie music and Japanese indie music lately.
Okay.
And then in terms of like, what have I been watching? There's a new anime called Dan Da Dan
Okay.
that I really like. I highly recommend it. They only have the first episode, or I think the second episode came out like yesterday. I didn't watch it yet.
I think I hear about that.
It's it got like famously leaked, so people were talking about it, but
Okay.
it's also such a good manga. I've been reading it, and the animation is really good.
Okay.
So Dan Da Dan is like, I would say I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've only seen one episode.
Okay.
What else? I watched Survivor,
Okay.
the like reality TV show.
Yeah.
I love Survivor. It's like my dream to get on that show one day.
Okay.
And then what else? I think that's about it. For books, what I've been reading. I've been reading, I have this habit now where when I go, because we've been traveling so much, whenever we go somewhere, I try to find a book of like local folk tales or like stories, fairy tales.
Okay.
And so I've been reading, I recently went to Greece to visit like family and to go to a wedding, and I bought this book of like Greek old, like they're not myths, but they're like stories from like islands and villages and things like that. And it's so funny. It's so crazy. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's really fun.
Here in Mexico, you can buy like cañitas.
Oh.
It's about ghosts and spirits.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like a joke,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can, if you can buy it, it's
Yeah, I
It's
would
there.
love to get like a book of local stories and folk tales.
that's my recommendation. Cañitas.
Canitas?
Cañitas.
Cool.
Ajá.
Yeah.
And but I think that's all.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And thanks to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I learned about Canada
Yeah.
a bit, and I listen to your music. It's great.
Thank you.
I expect you to have a great show,
Thank you.
and we'll see you later here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, how you guys do? You ready? mixtape.